One thing you might not know about Hollywood is that behind the glitz and glamour lies a history of careers ruined in an instant. Imagine being a global star, with fans who adore you and studios fighting for your signature, only to be erased from the industry overnight. What happened when fame turned into infamy? Hollywood may be the land of dreams, but it's also where careers are destroyed as quickly as they are made. Today, we're diving into the dark side of Tinseltown and the biggest stars who were blacklisted, uncovering the controversies that sealed their fates. Number 1. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie wasn't just a star, he was a cinema pioneer, a global icon, and a revolutionary artist. By the 1930s, he was a household name, beloved for his unforgettable portrayal of the tramp. He had achieved unmatched success, controlling United Artists alongside Hollywood royalty like Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford. But his ascent wasn't impervious to controversy. Chaplin frequently challenged social and political norms, especially through films like The Great Dictator
your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you.
in modern times. While these films gained acclaim, they also made him a target during the Red Scare. In 1952, Chaplin faced one of Hollywood's most devastating betrayals. While traveling to London, the U.S. government refused to let him re-enter the country, accusing him of communist sympathies and moral indecency. Despite having contributed immensely to American cinema, Chaplin was brutally blacklisted. He settled in Switzerland, away from the Hollywood he had helped define.
He posed for the newsreel cameras on board. Young Michael Chaplin, by the way, had got lost for the moment. Then Charlie came to
Topping $50 million, dwindled significantly due to lost film contracts and legal battles. Even accolades in his later years, like the Special Academy Award in 1972,
Charlie Chaplin's dearest and eternal friend.
weren't enough to erase the pain of exile. Though he continued making films in Europe, Chaplin no longer held the influence or reach he once commanded. Dying in 1977, he spent his last days far from Hollywood's gilded shores. It's tragic that the man who gave the world enduring laughter was ostracized by the nation that once celebrated him. 2. Dorothy Comingore. Dorothy was a star who seemed destined for greatness. Her magnetic performance in Citizen Kane as Susan Alexander Kane captivated audiences and critics alike. With her raw natural talent, Comingore was expected to dominate Hollywood for years. But what began as a promising career soon became a nightmare. In the 1950s, Dorothy found herself in the crosshairs of the House Un-American Activities Committee during Hollywood's darkest era of anti-communist paranoia.
And attempted to use me, I don't think, because apparently they know that I'm not very sympathetic to.
Accused, without evidence, of having communist ties, she refused to name colleagues or betray her principles. Her defiance, however, came at a steep price. She was blacklisted almost instantly. Film studios severed ties, her name was removed from casting lists, and even her credits in re-releases of Citizen Kane were stripped away, erasing her contributions to cinema. Comingore's personal life also spiraled. She faced repeated arrests for minor offenses that tabloids sensationalized to further discredit her. Out of work and emotionally devastated, her wealth and reputation evaporated as she struggled to scrape by with odd jobs and scattered stage roles. By the time of her death in 1971, at the age of 57, she had been almost entirely forgotten by the industry that once embraced her. Dorothy Comingore's story is one of betrayal by an industry that turned its back on one of its own. She was a beacon of talent whose career was stolen by suspicion and fear. Today, her tragic tale serves as a somber reminder of the human costs of Hollywood's blacklists. 3. Rose McGowan. By the late 1990s, Rose had solidified her place in Hollywood with roles in dark cult classics like Scream and Jawbreaker.
Steve wanted.
How do you know his name?
Known for her fearlessness and edgy performances, she was a rising star. But in October 2017, McGowan made a decision that would alter her life forever. She publicly accused powerful Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein of rape, becoming one of the first voices in the #Me Too movement.
Stop the rape! Stop the violence! Stop the rape!
An hour later, the march winds down. I ask Burke.
You started this 10 years ago.
In the entertainment industry and beyond. But Hollywood's response was swift and not in her favor. Major networks quietly removed her episodes from syndication, casting offers dried up, and endorsement deals vanished overnight. McGowan's memoir, Brave, released in 2018, detailed not just Weinstein's predatory actions, but also the systemic silencing of survivors by powerful studio executives.
I don't know. Do you recognize yourself, women, in movies? Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as in a collar? Do you see yourself?
McGowan's net worth plummeted, and by 2019, she struggled to maintain her platform without corporate backing. Film festivals canceled her appearances, while agents and casting directors deemed her too polarizing. She lost the fame she had once enjoyed, becoming a pariah in the very industry she helped expose. While Rose McGowan remains an outspoken advocate for survivors, her exile from Hollywood reveals the industry's inherent self-interest. A woman whose bravery helped change the landscape of accountability was ostracized for speaking out. Her fight brought change but left her sidelined in the process, a haunting irony for a star who dared to demand justice. 4. Kevin Spacey. Once hailed as one of Hollywood's most gifted actors, Kevin had crafted a legacy defined by his commanding performances. With 2 Academy Awards for The Usual Suspects and American Beauty, Spacey's career seemed untouchable. By the time he starred as Frank Underwood in House of Cards, he had become a global entertainment icon.
Power is a lot like real estate. It's all about location, location, location. The closer you are to the source, the higher...
But in 2017, everything changed. When actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of sexual misconduct from 1986, it opened the floodgates.
But I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury.
More allegations surfaced, each more damning than the last. Netflix immediately suspended production on House of Cards, severed ties with Spacey, and recast a completed film, all the money in the world, at significant expense. The once revered star was unceremoniously blacklisted. Spacey's financial empire collapsed under the weight of lawsuits and ongoing investigations. Once valued at $100 million, his net worth shrunk drastically as project cancellations, legal fees, and settlements mounted. Studios refused to work with him, deeming him uninsurable and too controversial. Attempts at comebacks have been met with deafening silence. Even critically praised performances on stage in Europe failed to restore his reputation. For a man who had defined an era of prestige cinema, the fall was swift and devastating. Spacey's name, once synonymous with accolades, now lingers as a stark warning about the consequences of predatory behavior in a post-Me Too Hollywood. 5. Shia LaBeouf. Shia was one of Hollywood's most enigmatic talents. Rising to prominence through his early work in Even Stevens and earning blockbuster credentials in the Transformers series, LaBeouf seemed poised for an enduring legacy. Known for his versatility, he wowed audiences in projects like Fury and Honey Boy. But beneath the surface of his artistic brilliance, personal struggles brewed, leading to a dramatic downfall.
Never could. Fuck, congratulations. Good on you, honey boy.
Emotional abuse, sexual battery, and assault during their relationship. This shocking revelation was compounded by years of erratic behavior, on-set conflicts, public meltdowns, and arrests for disorderly conduct. The industry took a hard stance. Netflix removed him from a high-profile project, while directors reconsidered roles he had lined up. He was quietly blacklisted, with studios and collaborators citing his unpredictability and the legal controversies as incompatible with their reputations. Financially, LaBeouf's trajectory mirrored his personal decline. Once commanding substantial paychecks for his franchise roles, his net worth, reported at around $25 million in his prime, began shrinking. Legal fees, settlements, and the loss of consistent work steadily drained his resources. By 2021, LaBeouf had retreated from Hollywood, seeking therapy and reportedly checking into a rehabilitation program in an effort to address his struggles. LaBeouf's story is a poignant reflection of Hollywood's mixed response to redemption and accountability. While his undeniable talent once painted him as an artist at the top of his craft, his personal troubles pulled him into an abyss that the industry was quick to exploit and later abandon. Whether he can rebuild his career remains uncertain, but his story remains a cautionary tale about fame's fragility. 6. Brendan Fraser. Brendan was one of Hollywood's most beloved leading men. From his adventurous role in the Mummy franchise to his comedic turn in George of the Jungle, Fraser had it all: box office hits, critical acclaim, and global recognition. Few could have predicted his sudden disappearance from the Hollywood spotlight. But behind the dazzling career was a darker story.
You're gonna get yours, Betty! You hear me? You're gonna get yours!
He had been sexually assaulted by Philip Burke, a former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Fraser's decision to speak out came at a great cost. As his allegations gained attention, his career began to suffer. Film offers disappeared, industry parties stopped inviting him, and his name was subtly yet effectively blacklisted. Studios feared he was too volatile, concerned about potential legal and PR consequences. Adding to his struggles were severe health issues caused by years of performing his own stunts, which left Fraser requiring multiple surgeries. The resulting recovery periods further restricted his ability to work. By 2019, his net worth, once estimated at $60 million, had dwindled to under $15 million. Unable to reclaim his A-list status, Fraser took on smaller projects and roles in independent films, often far removed from the mainstream success he once commanded. In 2022, The Whale marked his triumphant acting comeback, earning him Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations. However, despite critical success, Fraser remains locked out of many blockbuster productions. The industry that once embraced his effortless charm left him in the cold. Brendan Fraser's story underscores how speaking out comes with emotional and financial sacrifices, even as the audience still adores him. 7. Isaiah Washington. Isaiah was in the prime of his career when he earned the role of Dr. Preston Burke on ABC's Grey's Anatomy. His portrayal of the groundbreaking character helped establish the series as a cultural phenomenon. But in 2006, during an on-set argument, Washington directed a homophobic slur toward a co-star. This comment was overheard by crew members and quickly spread across industry headlines. Initially, Washington apologized publicly on multiple platforms.
And I will continue to apologize for if you're going to be accused of something, you don't go in the Golden Globes and use the very word.
Including at the Golden Globes. But Hollywood's response was relentless. Despite his efforts to redeem his reputation, the damage was irreversible. ABC producers terminated his contract, and his character was dramatically written out in the season finale of 2007. Fans of the series were shocked as the decision coincided with a notable dip in the show's ratings. Even after Washington publicly advocated for LGBTQ rights and participated in charity events, offers from major productions dried up. Casting directors labeled him controversial and a risk to insure. By 2010, his earnings had plummeted, and he was relegated to lower-budget films and sporadic television guest spots. His net worth declined from $6 million to under $2 million, as legal fees and personal battles mounted. Washington's exile highlighted the unforgiving nature of Hollywood. Despite his exceptional talent, the industry chose to prioritize its public image over forgiveness. His story remains a cautionary tale on the power of words and how one moment can irreversibly shift perceptions in an environment where reputation is everything. 8. Monique. In 2010, Monique made history when she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in Precious.
First, I would like to thank the Academy for showing that it can be...
Her electrifying acting and heartfelt acceptance speech celebrated the triumphs of Black women, marking a high point in her career. But behind the scenes, tensions were brewing. Just 2 years later, Hollywood began to distance itself from her. Monique refused to participate in studio-mandated promotional tours for Precious, citing exhaustion and the unfair expectations placed upon her. Executives retaliated, branding her as difficult and ungrateful. This reputation stuck like glue. By 2017, her feud with Netflix over pay disparity escalated. She revealed that the streaming giant offered her an insulting $500,000 for a comedy special.
To do a comedy special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 to do a comedy special.
Far less than her male and white peers with smaller audiences. Demanding equal treatment, she called for a boycott, but the industry's reaction was swift. Studios deemed her uninsurable, and major projects quietly removed her from casting considerations. Her net worth, once estimated at $6 million in 2010, dwindled to under $2 million as major opportunities dried up. In response, Monique turned to advocacy, live shows, and festival appearances. Despite her undeniable talent, Hollywood's doors remain closed. Monique's story is not just about defiance. It's about the steep cost of standing up for fairness in an industry that rewards compliance. Her career stands as proof that sometimes talent alone isn't enough. In the fight for equity, Monique paid the ultimate professional price: exile from Hollywood's elite circle. 9. Armie Hammer. Armie dazzled audiences with his breakout performances in The Social Network and Call Me By Your Name. With his chiseled looks and refined acting, Hammer seemed destined to become a Hollywood heavyweight. However, by 2021, his career was in ruins, mired in controversy, scandal, and shocking allegations. Private messages allegedly sent by Hammer surfaced, revealing disturbing fetishes, violent fantasies, and accounts of abuse. Though Hammer denied the allegations, the fallout was swift and overwhelming. Within 48 hours, his talent agency dropped him, studios canceled projects, and his name became synonymous with Hollywood's darkest scandals. Production on films like Shotgun Wedding and The Offer came to an abrupt halt. Financially, Hammer's life quickly unraveled. Once valued at $20 million, his fortune crumbled to under $5 million due to legal fees and lost salaries. Insurance companies labeled him high risk, further destroying any chance of regaining his career. By 2023, Hammer's work was largely limited to self-funded projects and interviews in low-profile independent films. What's especially striking about Hammer's downfall is how swiftly it unfolded. The actor who once graced the most elite stages of Hollywood was, within weeks, recast as a pariah. His story reveals not just the power of public perception, but also how Hollywood enforces scandal-driven accountability, even at its harshest. 10. Amanda Bynes. Once a darling of America's entertainment scene, Amanda Bynes built a career on charm and comedic brilliance. With hit Nickelodeon shows like The Amanda Show and film successes such as What a Girl Wants, she was a cultural icon. By 2005, Bynes was earning $2 million per film, with a bright future ahead. But Hollywood's Golden Girl wasn't immune to the industry's pressures. In the years that followed, Bynes struggled with mental health and substance abuse, both of which played out in the public eye. Arrests for DUIs, erratic behavior, and bizarre social media tirades in the early 2010s made her tabloid fodder. By 2013, Bynes was placed under a conservatorship following an incident where she was found wandering into traffic. Her studios, viewing her as uninsurable, cut all ties with her. The offers, which once came flooding in, dried up completely. Bynes' net worth sank from $12 million in 2012 to under $1 million by 2015. She enrolled in fashion school in an effort to rebuild her life, but despite interest in returning to acting, the industry remained hesitant. The conservatorship, ending in 2022, left her without the Hollywood connections she once relied on. Amanda Bynes is a heartbreaking tale of fame's fragility. Her experience highlights the lack of support for stars grappling with mental health, proving that even the brightest stars can fall when the industry turns its back. Hollywood remains a playground of immense opportunity, but one wrong move can transform a star into an outcast. Whether it's personal scandal or standing firm for beliefs, these tales of blacklisting reveal how quickly the entertainment industry can turn its back. Fame may glitter, but underneath it lies a fragile, precarious future for those who fall out of favor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell for more content like this. See you on the next one.